So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to show you how I have created some hot glue stencils. So the first person I saw to actually do this was Tracy Batista, and she is having a challenge to kind of celebrate her book, Printmaking Unleashed, I believe is the name of it. So on her Instagram, she has done like a virtual thing where you can post stuff every day. And so I was in Walmart and I'd been thinking about and wanting to do them. I know that Frugal Crafter did a video here last week or a few days ago where she did the hot glue stencils. So I'm going to attempt, now that I have the overhead camera hopefully worked out, then I'm going to try to actually set it up and show you guys how I make them. So what you're seeing here is a red silicone baking mat. Okay, you need something that will allow you to pick up the hot glue and not actually stick to it. My original plan was to try the wax paper, but when I got home with the hot glue gun and the sticks, I realized I did not have any wax paper. So I grabbed the silicone baking mat, which I really don't use in the kitchen, so it's going to go into my craft room now. And I was at Walmart. This is the gun I'm using. It is a AdTech high temp gun, and it was $9.99 at Walmart. This giant looking hot glue stick are these that I got at Walmart, and I believe they were like $5.99. So this is the full size Multi Temp AdTech glue sticks, which they're really long in comparison to what you usually find in a glue stick. And what you're seeing right here is just some examples of some that I did. If you have watched my most recent video that had the hot glue stick flower, I can't even find that book right now. The hot glue stick flower that I actually put on the front of one, you can use it as an embellishment as well. So I'm going to show you really quick how I did that. Here's some more I did for my jelly plate, so it would be full. And you have to kind of be careful how you store them because they are glue, so they will bend if they get all wonky in the drawer somewhere. And that looks like what's happened to that. This is a heart. It's been used, so you can see how the paint has colored it, which makes it really good whenever you're ready to go and put that on top of a book or some type of embellishment. So let's go ahead, and I'm going to try to show you here. Let me see if I can zoom in. This app's pretty cool. You can use it as a remote control, and show you how I did the stencil. And it's hot glue, so you want to make sure you have a relatively thick layer on there. And you want to make sure it's connected. So if you find a piece that is too thin, like this may be a little bit too thin, so you just go back and add that to it. Okay, so it's just go slow when you get the flow of glue going, and then you will have these little stringy things, but you can take that out later. And just connect them. And practice, of course, just like everything, makes perfect. And the type of art and things that I like is not necessarily about perfection. So I don't mind the fact that the hearts are not even or something like that. Now, if we wanted to make this into a big stencil, of course, we could come back right here and attach these two with the little stencil. I mean, with the little heart. So we could actually create a, connecting those, it's going to connect it. And then we could come down here and connect it here. So you get the idea that you can make sheets of these. You could make individual things, and then make sure you let it dry. And that one needs to be a little bit thicker right there. Make sure you let it dry good, and then you will be able to pick it up, lift it up, and it will release very easily off of the silicone so that you can actually use it in a project. You can tell it's dry whenever it kind of becomes, instead of being clear, it'll actually come a little bit more opaque when the glue dries. So I'm going to put this to the side. Now I had some questions about how to, I'm going to use this. Hopefully you guys can see it. This is just a heart stencil that I did. I thought that I was going to be able to show you on the other way that I had my camera set up, but my arm was all in the way, so hopefully this works out better. Now, one of the products that I use that I happen to have that I also use for jewelry is Gilder's paste. I have a few of these, which is it comes in like a shoe polish type thing, and you can do it with your finger. So I've also used acrylic paint, and I was gonna kind of use this one, I think, on that. So I'm gonna take some distress paint here in Fired Brick, which is a redder color, and that's what I'm gonna use to kind of show you. And once you've used this, like this stencil right here, I haven't even actually used. So once you use it, it's actually going to pick up some of the color on the back side of this anyway. Okay. And then you can see there how that works. Don't forget to unplug your glue gun too if you're finished using it. I saw something on Facebook about somebody setting an apartment building on fire. And I'm just using deli paper for my cleanup. That way I can use this in a print or collage background somehow. So I'm going to go and actually heat this with the heat gun to try to get it to dry a little bit faster, so I can show you the next layer. Okay, and just FYI, if you try to make the process faster and use your heat gun, it will melt the glue, which I didn't think about before I tried to do it. Okay, so I'm back. I grabbed another stencil that I'd already done because, like I say, I melted this one. I actually went back and put Gilder's paste. Used to try to say that 10 times fast. Silver Gilder's paste. Anyway, so now I'm gonna add this color to it, Pinotage, and I just do it with my finger like this, get it on there, and then just rub it on. I think that paint's still a little bit wet, but my patience is not very good this evening, so if you let it dry, you get better. But the Gilder's paste really adheres well to the glue, and I didn't realize this when I did the flower that I put on the front of the book, but it actually does take a little while to get this paint to dry, so I would suggest doing it and then letting it sit overnight or letting it sit for a few hours. If you have patience unlike me. I don't do very well in the whole drying game. So I would probably have to do this, and I think I actually did it and went to bed the other night, so that's why I didn't notice. Okay, so ultimately, make your stencil. Use your stencil. When you have gotten the goodie out of the stencil, or you want to use it in some other type of embellishment, paint it up, and it will be a cool addition to any of your projects. So I hope this answers some questions for you, and thank you for tuning in. See you next time.